The Millionaires Union going on strike for more capital. It's 1,000 times easier and more effective to believe that the working class people of the world owe all their social justice and material progress to a handful of multimillionaires than to believe that global warming and the disappearance of insect species have been caused by human beings. It's 1,000 times easier and more effective to organize a strike for more capital than a strike on behalf of workers. It's 1,000 times easier to organize a union of millionaires for pressuring working class people and governments at every whim than to form a union of teachers, of workers, of supermarket employees, or of rural laborers. When a worker doesn't like his work or his salary, he is free to leave without his job and his salary and go somewhere else. When an investor doesn't like the work other people do or the salary they receive, he is free to leave with his money and go somewhere else. In countries where things are upside down, it's because the strike for more capital has already taken place on a massive scale, and the country has been bankrupted or hounded by those who run the economic system that rules over the rest of us. In countries where things are upside down, floods are to blame for the rain, and workers are to blame for the sufferings and crises of the wider society. In this world, no government that promotes the general welfare and the social solidarity of programs for education, health, or equitable development can have any chance at continuity and economic growth if it doesn't clarify beforehand its recognition of the sanctity of transnational interests and their scribes. In this world, no government that promotes the general welfare can have any chance at continuity and economic growth if it doesn't first bow the knee before those investors who responsibly play with billions of dollars and people, just as they responsibly drink whiskey and responsibly grab the ass of a hotel employee. No government which recognizes that all social and economic progress in the present world hasn't been produced by a handful of successful millionaires, but rather by centuries of social struggles and thousands of contributions from men and women of thought and from modest geniuses of science and technology, almost always wage earning, has any possibility of continuity. In this world, all governments, whether of the right or the left, whether on top or on the bottom, must protect, just like rabid dogs, the absolute freedom of capital to land in their countries and to fly to its safe havens whenever it wishes to do so, which is always when societies get the idea of making some kind of demand about their role in the investment process. And that's when societies go bankrupt, and working class people understand that they live better by living off handouts. Which is to say that big capital shouldn't just be worshipped in practice and in fairy tales, but through private law should also be guaranteed the right to commit extortion on a universal scale. It goes without saying that this system, organized and governed by a handful of multimillionaires, by founding fathers and protectors of progress in each country, developed or underdeveloped, successful or ruined, by self-sacrificing parental figures and misunderstood defenders of humanity, of an irresponsible humanity, isn't democratic in the slightest. And for that very reason, liberty and democracy are their banners, the very same flags they have fluttering like pendulums before the glazed eyes of the working class, who afterwards will gather as a lynch mob against those who don't agree with this state of collective hypnosis.